right, let's jump straight into it. The power of the pause. Now, I've already confessed and admitted that I've been a speaker for more than 30 years. This is how I made my living all over the world. You name the country. Most popular: Singapore, Jakarta, Indonesia, China, Taiwan, all over Africa, Malaysia, Bangkok. I've lived there. People often ask me, what was your favorite? I got to tell you, even though China is accused of the coronavirus from Wuhan, I got to tell you, China was my favorite. Maybe Singapore is my favorite, but let me rephrase it. I loved China. Did you know China's been around for 5,000 years or longer, more? In that country, you see a lot of things that you just would not consider to be the norm. And furthermore, you see a lot of things that you wouldn't see anywhere else but China. And to that extent, to me, it's fascinating. For example, Chinese foot binding, where you see a woman who's 80 years old. She might be 4'11", and her feet are the size of a 6-year-old girl. What they do, they break the feet when she is of that age, 6 or 7, and they wrap it really, really hard and tight. And it stays like that for most of her life. I know a good 30 years. And when it's unwrapped, it looks like that. It's the toes and everything is all locked down such as that. Well, the Chinese foot binding, as they call it, is an art. It's magnifique. It's different. Not necessarily for me, but it has its course. It has its meaning. It has its platform. Whether you and I like it, agree with it, or understand it or not, believe it or not, in a lot of the Shandong province, it still goes on. And it probably will. Just like China has been here 5,000 years, so are a lot of their customs and traditions. So I've told you that part. Now let's get into the power of the pause. I just paused. But what is the purpose of pausing when you're on a stage as a speaker? There are 4 powerful pauses, each with a different meaning and each with a different effect, both from you and onto the audience. The first one is the sense pause. When you are speaking on a particular topic, you can magnify the sensitivity of that one little area of your speech. It's known as allowing people to absorb what you just said. I just did it, isn't it? I talked about Chinese foot binding, and I paused to give you, even though you're not in this room with me, an opportunity to absorb what I just said. It's powerful in that many of you watching me right now have never heard of it. You didn't even know it existed, much less know that it's going on even today in the year of 2020 or beyond. There's some customs and beliefs that you cannot change and will not change just because it's not a part of you. But as speakers, we have to know how to engage the audience. And one of the most effective ways, again, dare I say it, most powerful ways to engage your audience is through the power of the pause. You may not like pausing in between your message or thoughts from your message, but they can be very effective indeed. Let's take the dramatic pause. I would never allow anyone to wrap my feet like that for years, to subdue me, to make me, force me, or coerce me into coming or succumbing to what they want to have of me or with me. Imagine the power of your boss as a leader or the authority in that company not giving you a promotion because you chose not to lay with him. Granted, there's some women who will have sex to get to the top. Are you one of them? Some people are willing to do anything to get to the top, including having sex, including lying, including stealing, including deceiving. Whatever it takes. Some people want their 15 minutes of fame and power so badly, they'll do all those things and even some more. The emphatic pause. This pause emphasizes something that's very important. Nobody owns anybody. Slavery is over. Nobody owns me. Nobody owns my soul. My soul is mine. Doesn't belong to you. Doesn't belong to the white man. Doesn't belong to anyone. If, in fact, my soul belongs to someone, it belongs to my Creator, God. But it certainly doesn't belong to man. Emphasizing that point, I mentioned the white man. Why? Because that's their history. Owning possession of, taking possession of, that's their history. They're not getting along with anybody in the United States right now because they want what used to be, and it ain't gonna happen no more. When you use the emphatic pause, it's because you're making a declaration. You are declaring and decreeing a thing, making it emphatically clear that no man owns my soul. You see how when you're going to make a bold statement, you can certainly see where this emphatic pause can be very effective when you're going to say something almost as though you are a provocateur. If you are a provocateur, this pause is going to be quite easy for you, but for many it will be very difficult. Listen, in order to conquer the fears that bind so that you can educate, inform, and empower people, you have got to understand where your fear is coming from. And what I've given you so far, again, is the mission statement of conquering your fears so that you can publicly speak. There are plenty of people out there doing courses on fear. Their approach is not the same as mine, but neither have they perhaps studied fear all these years that I've lived all over the world. For example, in Singapore, I lived there 2.5 years. Loved it. Would go back in a heartbeat. But for example, they have what they call kiasu. 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 It means fear of losing. These are the most highly proficient people in the world, in my opinion. Nobody is more efficient than Singaporeans. Hands down, they are absolutely the best. I discovered while living there that it's because of kiasu. They are determined, they have been raised to believe that losing is not an option. When Lee Kuan Yew, the original prime minister, was alive, he's deceased now. When he first took over the nation to build it and make it into the wonderful country that it is today, loved living there, loved it, loved it. I can tell you, while they are very strict there, so is Saudi Arabia. But I love it. You know, it's a different way of life. It's a different form of expression to embracing life. And I think that's the one thing that I've learned living in all these countries around the world. And I'm so eager to embrace the things that are not the norm according to my culture. Love it. I'm the well-rounded woman that I am today because of it. So, back to Singapore, Lee Kuan Yew, the former original prime minister, the country is so small in Singapore, they can't grow crops. They don't have an ocean, beaches. Everybody cannot own a car, same if they can pay for it. But everybody cannot have a car. You have to have an EOC, a certificate, to buy a car. And you got to be rich to get that. Because it's well over, I don't know what it is today, but back when I was there in 94, oh la la, it was like 200 and something Sing dollars, which is well over 400,000 US dollars. So everybody doesn't drive a car, nor do you need to. But buses are great, and believe me when I tell you, completely safe. Just like in Saudi Arabia, it's safe. You're not worried as a woman about walking on the streets, jogging. You're just not worried that you're going to be attacked in those countries. The way of life and the principles of life is very different. Loved it. I'm conveying to you now that Singapore as a country cannot harvest anything except their people. Everything is imported in, from toilet paper to water. It's all imported in. The only thing that the country as a nation has been able to nurture and crop are its people. And thus the reason they are so highly proficient. Amazing, isn't it? The last pause is the sentence completion. Imagine you're on stage speaking and a thought runs across your head to make your point that's better than the one you put in your written presentation. And that sentence happens to be one that everybody will know in the room. Let me give you an example. For example, you suddenly say, everybody knows the grass on the other side is, and everybody in the audience kind of says greener, because it's something that everybody knows. It's a